What's that? You already have a wife. My mother. He cleared his throat. Yes. Well, perhaps I neglected to explain it to you, but the fact is, I've been free to marry for some time. He sawed off another rubbery morsel of mutton and chewed it vigorously, as if unaware that this second piece of news had shocked me even more than the first. Free to marry, I echoed, careful to keep my tone mild. Young ladies never burst into tears in public. Yes, you were away at school and I didn't want to upset you with the news. I quietly wadded Maud's damask napkin into a ball as I pondered his words. Why did people always tiptoe around me as if I reclined on a bed of violets that might be crushed beneath their feet? Poor, pitiful Violet. Her mother became ill, you know, when she was only 9. She's an only child, always daydreaming. When did Mother die? I had to struggle against the lump in my throat. We'll talk about it later, Violet. Excuse me once again, Father, but I believe I should have been informed of her passing. You might have... He cleared his throat, interrupting me. This is hardly the proper time to discuss the matter. He nodded discreetly toward Horace and Harriet, who had stopped gnawing their mutton to gaze at me with their round, piggy eyes. I realize now that I should have explained everything to you ahead of time, and I apologize for that. But let's not spoil Maud's wonderful supper or this momentous occasion with details that can wait until we're home, shall we? Evidently, my mother's demise was a detail. I would have excused myself from the table in order to allow my tears to fall, but I was a guest in Widow O'Neill's home. Leaving mid-meal would be unspeakably rude. Weeping at the supper table would be rude as well. Besides, my tears were more for myself than for a mother I barely remembered. Even so, Father might have mentioned her death. Maud lifted the platter of meat and offered it to my father. Would you care for more, John? Maud had poisoned her first husband. I was certain of it. I had read about women like her in my favorite dime novels and pulp fiction magazines. My best friend, Ruth Schultz, smuggled copies of true crime stories, the illustrated police news, and true romance stories into our dormitory at Madame Beauchamp's School for Young Ladies, along with dime novels in bright orange jackets. We hid them beneath our mattresses so we could read them after lights out. Of course, proper young ladies never read such trash, but Ruth and I did. What would become of me after Maud poisoned my father the same way she had poisoned her first husband? Would she drive me from my home to beg for alms in the gutter? I pictured myself on a street corner as snow swirled around me, a tattered shawl clutched around my shivering shoulders, my gaunt hand outstretched in supplication. Then the image faded as I realized that I was much too old to beg for alms. As a pretty young woman of 20 years, a much worse fate awaited me. I would have to become a woman of the night. A warm blush spread across my cheeks at the prospect. While it may sound vain to call myself pretty, I had heard enough people use that adjective when describing me to convince myself that it must be true. My thick, curly hair was the color of strong coffee, my eyes just as dark. And even though Madame Beauchamp had referred to my complexion as a bit swarthy and had cautioned me to stay out of the sun, lest I resemble une paysanne, she had also described me as très jolie. A careful examination of my face in a hand mirror confirmed to me that I was, indeed, quite pretty. Would you like some more meat, Violet? Maud offered the platter to me next, her teeth bared in a grin. What if she planned to poison me along with my father, so that Horace...